Yo, YouTube, what's crack-a-lack-a-jack-a-smackin'? It's Waffle Man with a video, and today we will be giving our first impressions, or a lot of impressions, on NBA Live 16 Pro-Am. Now, people are actually fiending to play NBA Live 16. Now, first of all, the demo's out in the store on PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, so go check it out. You know, don't leave my opinions, don't take my opinions to heart, because you have your own opinions. You can make your own opinions on NBA Live 16, but I'm just gonna give my opinions. Disclaimer hold, I've been playing 2K for almost all of my NBA basketball career on you know, video games. So yeah, haven't played live that much in the past, and you know, I played the demos for live, but that doesn't mean I really played the game. So this game gives me a good indication of where live stands from the past and stuff like that. So anyways, let's talk about the graphics of NBA Live 16. Now this can't be, there's no way this game is in 60 frames per second. And also, there's a couple of frame rate issues while playing live Pro-Am. There's definitely some, you know, frame rate drops and stuff like that. So it's definitely not a smooth 60 frames per second like we see in NBA 2K15 Park, or even when NBA 2K16 Park comes, you know, out. But it's definitely not smooth, so that's one thing that NBA Live 16 needs to improve upon and needs to fix before the game releases. That's something they could patch right now, because as it stands, this is the full game we're playing. This is the full game right now. I mean, what you're downloading, why it's taking so long to install, it's because you're installing the full game. They have all these game modes there, but it's just locked unless you buy the real game. So yeah, that's basically why it takes so long to install. So yeah, they need to fix the frame rate and they need to make it a little bit smoother. I don't even know if this game is in 60 frames per second. But yeah, we can leave it there. Now let's talk about the players and how they look compared to 2K and previous live games. I mean, the players do look better than other live games, but they still look awkward. I mean, they just look awkward. I mean, you look at them and you're like, huh, they kind of look right, and then they kind of look weird. And then, you know, they definitely have some nice hairstyles in the game. They have some nice tattoos. The shirts that for your characters look terrible, man. I mean, they just look terrible. I mean, some people look like they came straight out the rec center. You know, you're going to the gym and you're facing these old ass people, and they got these shirts on. And that's what people look like in this game. You know, people with the bald head and stuff, they look exactly like that, like they're playing in the rec center, like they're playing in a local rec center. Not to say that's a bad thing, but come on, what? I mean, this is. I mean, yo, we're trying to look, you know, at least like our NBA players, you know, as our NBA my players, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, and also another thing about the players in this game when playing live Pro-Am, it doesn't matter what position you are. For some reason, the players just look overrated. I don't know. I mean, every player looks like they're a little bit above their weight, you know, as they're supposed to be, because you can make your characters like skinny and brolic. You can make it brolic or skinny, but it just looks like everyone's just a little bit bigger, especially when you put the shirts on. When you put the shirts on, it just looks like everyone's just a little bit bigger for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why no one looks really slim in their shirts. I guess that's the way NBA Live has its body scans, but you know, 2K did a thing where they fully scanned the body of real NBA players. I don't know if Live did that. Probably not. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why they kind of look weird. So let's talk about the courts, and the courts look nice. You know, I'm definitely liking the courts in NBA Live. They really look nice. The environment looks. I mean, you know, some of the environments look really bad. You know, some of the environments look cool, but you know, the crowd. You see, the crowd is into it at some points in the game, but you know, the environment, the surrounding background, it's just a backdrop. So we won't get too into that, but yeah, you know, the graphics in live are alright. You know, they're nothing comparable to 2K. 2K has better graphics, hands down. You can't argue that. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on to the character creation for live Pro-Am, because that's all we want to talk about is this live Pro-Am character creation. As I get that crazy layup. I don't know how I did it, but I made a layup like that in the game, and yo, that's something we'll get into later in the video. But let's talk about the character creation. So it's definitely not as deep as 2K in my opinion, and there's some positives and negatives. But yeah, the character creation, like the facial stuff like that, you know, it's not as deep as 2K. You know, your body weight. Now you could choose to be looking brolic like Andre Iguodala, you know, someone like that, or you could look skinny. But it seems like after you go from like one end of the thing, like, you know, if you want to go like one side brolic or like one down, it looks like you're completely changing your character. So I just kept it in the middle, and I think most people kept it in the middle too. And yeah, that's actually one interesting thing, because you weren't been able to been brolic in like 2K before like that. So that's cool. The hairstyles look fresh. They look you know, the tattoos look solid. Everything, you know, hairstyles and all that stuff on your body looks solid. And you know, then comes the restrictions in your character, you know. So for shooting guard, for example, you have 3 types of players you can be for shooting guard. You could either be a slasher, which is good at slashing, cutting, a little bit more athletic. You could be a shooter, which, you know, shooters are good at shooting, of course, have a little bit less speed, and their overall speed capacity changes with each thing. So for example, slasher, I believe, has the most speed out of the 3, and that's the same thing for all the positions. Like the point guard position is the fastest, then it's shooting guard, then it goes all the way down. You know, small forwards have like a max at like 88, while shooting guards can max it out, I think, highest 90. So yeah, those are some great restrictions right there. And it definitely changes the starting point at which your character's overall is. So if you want to build a taller character, your character is going to be a lower overall at first, and it's going to be harder to upgrade your character. As you can see with my slasher, I think I'm like 6'5", 6'6". So yeah, another thing about the character creation, which is weird, is that they put the heights in centimeters. I don't know why they did that. Nobody ever goes in real life, and I mean, there's some people that do that, but come on, this is a video game. We already know, you know, 6'7" and 6'5" and stuff like that is how NBA players are looked on as we're talking about height. So the fact that they put, you know, 203 centimeters, 210 centimeters, 195 centimeters, how the hell am I supposed to know this? I actually have to go on Google and search 203 centimeters. I was like, so this is 203 centimeters, and I'm like, it's not even like completely accurate, because it's like around, you have to round it up. So I was like, alright, 203 centimeters is like 6'5", 6'4". So I was like, wow, that's a short, you know, that's an alright average shooting guard, you know. I was like, I gotta make it 6'6", and then I took all the attribute, you know, decreasing. I took all my attributes to decrease, so you know, my player's gonna be harder to, you know, upgrade, even though I'm gonna stop playing this game soon. But yeah, basically the restrictions are great. But 2K also has restrictions in their game, so it's not really one-upping the competition, you know. So at least Live implemented it first, so 2K decided to implement it after. But let's get on to the gameplay and why NBA Live 16 to me is terrible. Just terrible. First of all, the animations in the game. I mean, who made the animations? Did they actually get the scans right? Did they actually mocap this game properly? I mean, some of the animations in this game are ridiculously retarded. They're awkward, they're weird, they make no sense, they're repetitive. A lot of shooting guards have the same animations as big men in the game. They're sloppy, some of them very sloppy. And then the controls for the game, it's so weird to control this game. Sometimes you want to take a shot and it takes a shot like a second after. I mean, you be pulling up, you be trying to make a layup. I still don't even know how to properly make a layup. And I mean, I'm not saying, like, I'm not gonna blame me not learning the controls on, you know, the game, because I've been so used to 2K. And yeah, this game is definitely different. I mean, to set a pick you have to use L2, but setting picks in this game is so weird, because it's not because of the button. It's just awkward to set a pick. I mean, it doesn't even set properly sometimes, and sometimes the pick doesn't even work, and I'm like, what the hell? It's like I wasn't even there to set the pick. And the dribbling isn't smooth. It's a whole bunch of stuff. The game is just not smooth, man. It's just not silky smooth, and it's not even in 60 frames per second. The frame rate issues are there, so it's just completely. And look at this gameplay right here. First of all, the game camera doesn't even follow your person. You know, it follows the ball, which sucks, because you might be in the backcourt, at least in this camera angle. And the camera angles in this game are just weird, man. I mean, they just feel, everything's just weird. And even the 3-point shots, I've been seeing a lot of people hit 3-point shots. I mean, you talk about the 3-point shots in 2K going in. The 3-point shots in NBA Live 16, they go in a ridiculous amount, man. I mean, people with 77 threes are splashing in 5 out of 5 threes, you know, making fadeaway threes. I'm like, yo, ain't no way you're gonna complain about 2K and not complain about this BS. Ain't no way. I know that. I like that when you inbound the ball, it tells you how many seconds you gotta cross the court and how many seconds you got left to inbound. That is cool. That I like. But you know, all this other stuff, it's just like, the way the players look, man. The way the gameplay is, It's just not good, man. It's man, the rebounding is off. I mean, rebounding, it does not feel good, man. And then the shots, every shot I take feels weird. It doesn't matter whose shot I'm using. I don't even know if I have Carmelo Anthony's release, man. It doesn't even feel like Carmelo Anthony's release. It feels like just a random release they gave me. So, listen, man. I'm not saying NBA Live 16 is the worst live game, but it's definitely not gonna be 2K16, man. Let's just stop it, man. Please, please, please. This game is terrible. I mean, you can, this is just my opinion, mind you that, so you can play the game yourself, but man, there's no way in hell I'm spending $60. And the people that freaking, gas Live 16, and I'm talking about you, Flight. You need to sit your ass down and stop sucking cock. Excuse my language. But seriously, ain't no way. I'm sorry. I love Madden. I love me some Madden. I love FIFA. I love NHL. I don't love NHL, but I played NHL and it's a cool game. If I was ever a hockey fan. But Live 16 is garbage, man. It's just garbage. Period. Can't say anything about that. A garbage game. And maybe, they just don't have the talent to make a basketball game. Maybe that might just be the problem. 2K has the talent to make the basketball game and Live doesn't. Who knows? But anyways, YouTube, the rant is over and I'm done for today. Peace.